Good morning, everyone. This call is being recorded, and as always, a copy will be sent to your mother if you're caught using bad language. Welcome, everyone, to our Telarus Tuesday call for January 29th, 2019. I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus, joined today by Patrick Oborn, Telarus co-founder and VP of Partner Experience. Patrick's here to present part two of his 2019 supplier review, this week featuring unified communications as a service and contact center as a service suppliers. Patrick's going to break down the UCaaS and CCaaS supplier landscape and help us understand who these suppliers are, what they offer, and how to determine the correct solutions for your clients among the many available options. Patrick Oborn joins our call. He'll be here in just moments. Also on today's call, we'll be introducing you to another brand new Telarus supplier. It's Ruby Receptionists, your client's personalized live receptionist team, controlled with the touch of a screen. Ruby Receptionist's proprietary technology and friendly live receptionists are the solution to delivering excellent customer experiences. Missed calls are missed opportunities. And this disruptive product helps you get in your prospect's door even when all of the other products are under contract. Find out how Ruby Receptionists can help you and your clients. That introduction is coming up in just minutes. We invite you to please log in to the video link and live chat platform where you can see Patrick Oborn's presentation today and to submit questions and comments in our Q&A session at the call's conclusion. If you happen to miss last week's Tuesday call, we introduced two new Telarus suppliers, VMOX, helping businesses around the world manage their mobility assets. VMOX's proprietary mobility optimization platform combines integration, automation, and patented technology to deliver unparalleled savings, unprecedented efficiency, and the industry's most comprehensive reporting and analytics. We also introduced Thrive Networks, one of the largest U.S. managed solution providers, delivering a flexible platform of enterprise-class technology and IT solutions to the challenges faced by businesses of any size. Their specialty is a suite of next-gen managed services, enabling enterprise IT applications to perform at peak levels, both inside and outside of the office. And of course, our featured presenter last week, as it is today, was Telarus co-founder and VP of Partner Experience, Patrick Oborn, for part one of our current three-session series, educating partners on our Telarus suppliers. Last week, we discussed cable, fiber, cloud connectivity, wireless, and SD-WAN providers. Our call was packed with information and strategic help, and Patrick's unique personal insights and tips. It all generated tremendous response from our partners. That call and the associated slide deck is recorded, and it's available now for review in your Telarus partner back office. Part two of that series comes up here in just moments. Our Telarus team's been on the road again in these first few weeks of 2019, and this week we have three exciting and informative regional events going on with our partners. We hope you'll join us. Here's where we'll be. First up, this Wednesday through Friday in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Telarus is ready to meet with you at the IT Expo. You'll see the Telarus booth and meet personally with Patrick Oborn, Marketing VP Amy Bailey, and Marketing Director Stephanie Call, along with, I believe, 6 of our suppliers, and who knows who else might stop by. We'll see you at the IT Expo this week. And if you're attending the Expo, please let us know now and RSVP to join us Thursday evening for a fantastic dinner and drinks hosted by Telarus and our suppliers Cox Business, Comcor, Call One, AT&T Business, CBTS, and Flexential. It happens Thursday evening at the Boatyard Restaurant in Fort Lauderdale from 7 until 10 p.m. Eastern. Hope you'll be there. Also Thursday, for our partners near Greenwich, Connecticut, the Telarus Security Boot Camp is on. It's Thursday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Eastern at the Hyatt Regency Greenwich in Old Greenwich, Connecticut. Come and join us for a deep dive training on security and learn how to change the game as a trusted security advisor. Lad Wimmer will be leading the conversation from the Telarus engineering team, along with our suppliers Sky, Data Vault, CenturyLink, and IGI. Security Boot Camp, it's this Thursday. You can see our full schedule of events and register or RSVP at Telarus.com events for any of our upcoming opportunities. Well, today I do have the pleasure of introducing a brand new Telarus supplier. Please join me in welcoming Ruby Receptionists. They are your client's personalized live receptionist team, and you can control it all with the touch of a screen. Ruby's live virtual receptionist and answering service turns callers into customers. They've got proprietary technology and friendly live receptionists, which are the solution to delivering excellent customer experiences. Tim Bedford is the channel sales manager at Ruby Receptionists. He joins us now with a brief overview of Ruby's strategy and offering. Tim, welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call. This is a very exciting new partnership for us.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. And, as Doug mentioned, my name is Tim Bedford, and I am the channel sales manager here at Ruby. And we're really excited to be working with Telarus exclusively and the opportunity to be able to partner with you all. So, who is Ruby? Ruby is an online live chat and receptionist service. We've been in business for over 15 years and have more than 9,000 SMB customers across the US and in Canada. And what we're doing is we're delivering a cost-effective and streamlined way for small businesses to give their callers and website visitors a consistent, exceptional experience, and to most importantly, win new business, but also build trust and customer loyalty and improve the brand reputation along the way. So we're doing this with highly trained US-based live specialists who answer phone calls and online chat visitors in real time, and all backed by a technology platform and leading mobile app. Our customers say that all they need is Ruby and a cell phone to manage their business and really grow their company. So if you look at our technology-driven world today, consumers still demand a human connection, and businesses that provide this level of service can successfully differentiate themselves in a crowded marketplace. So for our SMB customers, we allow their consumers to connect with them anytime and anywhere. Driven by an explosion of mobile search and click-to-call website visitors, the target market for this service is really massive and includes every type of small business vertical. This service is 100% MRR, and we see that 75% of opportunities actually close within 30 days. So on Thursday, learn how this service really meets the needs of your customers who value a high-touch experience and want to connect with businesses anytime and anywhere in order to grow their business. We'll cover the market space and prospect types, go into detail about product features and positioning, and also explain how to best work with us to close those deals. So with that, we look forward to seeing you all on Thursday.
It's going to be a great call. Thanks, Tim, for helping us get to know Ruby Receptionists. This is something really different in the marketplace. And as you mentioned, it's an exclusive with Telarus. It's a fact. People want to talk to other people. And as our partners are going to be busy all throughout the day, this is a great service for them to be able to have their customers chatting with live individuals, US-based, anytime, who can help with their business, correct?
Yep, that is correct.
That's going to be great. Well, our launch and training call then for Ruby Receptionists happens this Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and we hope all of our partners will dial in, find out how this can help them even get in the door of clients whose other telecom services may be under contract. This is something you can talk with them about and help their business. Tim, thanks so much for joining our call today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Doug.
Talk to you then. Now we take a look at this week's training calendar. We have 3 excellent opportunities being featured on the call. First up, today, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, Office Depot is presenting a very special training session on monetizing Office Depot's managed IT as a service in order to dramatically increase your revenue. This is a channel play that will add an easily sold additional revenue stream to your portfolio. Office Depot offers 3 different bundled plans, from businesses with more basic cloud-based environments to those with greater security needs to those needing an external IT department. full managed service technology support, including live remote support, monitoring, and on-site services. Find out how easy it is to profit from Office Depot's managed IT as a service offering during this very exciting training. It happens today at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm telling you, this is one you want to hear. And then on Thursday, as mentioned previously, you can join us beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern for the official launch and training call of our new Telarus supplier, Ruby Receptionists. Don't miss the opportunity to hear about their proprietary technology, their impressive people, and find out how Ruby Receptionists can preserve and perpetuate real, meaningful connections in our increasingly technology-focused virtual world. Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern with Ruby Receptionists. Then finally, on February 1st at 11 a.m. Eastern, there's expert training from ICESA on the industry's hottest product, SD-WAN. This session is going to focus on use cases and on specific selling tips. ICESA's secure SD-WAN and internet failover products make any business network run better. And ICESA's unique crawl, walk, run approach to SD-WAN allows customers of all sizes and any industry to adopt SD-WAN at their own pace. You'll find out how to qualify more customers, close more deals, and make more money during this powerful ICESA SD-WAN training. It happens Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. The details and registration links for these and for many other live and recorded learning opportunities, they're all in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. As I mentioned earlier, today's call features Patrick Oborn, Telarus co-founder and VP of Partner Experience. Patrick is today presenting part 2 of his 3-part series on Telarus suppliers, with emphasis today on unified communications and contact center providers. Patrick, welcome back to our Tuesday call. We are switching over. Patrick, can you hear us?
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that warm intro. Everybody, this is Patrick Oborn, VP of Partner Experience, coming to you live from Salt Lake City, Utah, with part 2 of our 4-part series of the Telarus supplier overviews. Thank you for being with me here today. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the unified communication and contact center suppliers, which form the Telarus supplier portfolio. Our intention today is to give you some background on both the providers that we offer, and more importantly, to give you access and education on where you can go to find more information as you talk to your customers and are needing information to help step them through their customer technology purchasing journey. Number one, I just want to start out with a slide to put these out in front of you. The 2 websites that offer the best support you can find is telarus.com/suppliers. That's our public-facing telarus.com website, where we've actually loaded all of the suppliers that we offer. All you need to do is go into that page and click on Unified Communications and also Contact Center. That's where you're going to find a lot of what we're talking today. Another website which kind of goes unnoticed sometimes is promos.telarus.com. That's PROMOS as in Sam, .telarus.com. And why do I lead off with promos.telarus.com? Ladies and gentlemen, because I'm here to talk about the enormous opportunity in unified communications and contact center. Here at Telarus, we deal with a lot of partners, a lot of suppliers. We're really the air traffic control of a lot of economic activity that takes place. And I can tell you this without a shadow of a doubt. Unified communications pays more to you than any other service. That is why it is so imperative that you understand how to sell unified communications if you're not yet today, and if you're not, where to go to get information to sell. So if you want to see what people are paying in terms of spiffs, the one-time payments that are attached to our accounts in addition to the residual, that's promos.telarus.com. There's a few running now, like 8x8 is currently running a first quarter spiff with 6x. It's unbelievable just how much money is being paid to you guys for selling unified communications right now. And the reason why is because there's a tremendous shift happening in the market. Number one, the size of the market is enormous. If you look at all phone systems that are out there, there are still up to 82% of them that are still on premise. That's right, 82%. That means there is a lot of people in the next year or so that are going to ditch their on-premise box in favor of their unified communication system in the cloud. Similarly, on the contact center side, 85% of all contact centers are run through centrally located on-premise gear. There are a lot of phone systems and contact center systems that are going to be moving to the cloud in the next little while. And that's why I think our providers are so aggressive in throwing money at this. And second of all, our providers on Wall Street have multiples that more closely associate with software providers than they do phone providers. And software providers can get anywhere between 10 to 12 times revenue in terms of valuation. So it's a very rich market. Again, like I said, there is no product that Telarus offers that pays more commission than unified communications. When you start to look at the different phone systems out there, you'll see Cisco here on this chart is number one. When you deal with folks out there, especially people with premise-based systems, a lot of them have Cisco Call Manager. And there are, again, a lot of phone systems out there. But what we're going to talk today a little bit about is the key factors in picking a solution. I think that's where a lot of our partners get lost a little bit, is they see unified communications as really just a phone system in the cloud. What we have to do in general as agents is really help our customers understand the difference between what a unified communication system can do for them as opposed to just a hosted PBX, which many people equate to just a phone line in the cloud. We have to really separate their thinking from this as a utility and help them think about it more as a customer engagement weapon. Unified communications is a competitive weapon. It allows people to work in teams seamlessly. It allows them to take phone calls and contact points from their customers across different channels. When I say channel, I'm referring to maybe one is a phone call. Another channel could be a text message. Another channel could be a social media. Another channel could be a room where people can have persistent chat. All of these different things are what we call multi-channel or different channel. One of the things that's the most powerful thing that you can talk about with your customers when it relates to converting their phone system into a competitive weapon is cloud CRM integrations. The difference between having the phone ring and looking down and seeing a phone number pop up in the caller ID scenario, or the phone rings and you look at your computer screen and on the computer screen pops the whole entire record of the customer calling in a CRM. Customer's name, the customer's address, the customer's picture, the last time they were in the office, how much money they owe you. All of these things can be in front of your customer's face when they call. And again, that's just one way to turn unified communications into a competitive weapon. A couple of other things that are important are key features, whether they need text, fax, whether they need to be able to queue calls under one name or under one number. You also need to know call volume. There's phone systems out there that don't do well with tons and tons and tons of minutes. There's also ones where, like Net2Phone, for example, that offer free international calls to over 56 countries. If your customer's calling a lot of international LD, you could come in and cut the price by 90% by just putting a phone system in there that gives them free international calls. You'll also want to know if overseas deployment is a factor. Are they going to put some of these phones in a different country? That will absolutely change the conversation that you're having with your customers. Do you need contact center features? Meaning, do they want to expand into the contact center realm where the prices get a little more expensive, but the features go up, the management reporting goes up, and the customer's ability to really engage with their customers goes way up on the contact center features. We've got providers that buy wholesale from larger contact center providers. We also have people who build everything in-house, like 8x8 is a great example of a company that's that owns their own unified communication and contact center platform. We've also got a lot of people who can differentiate by install. Sometimes our customers and your customers don't want to open up a FedEx box and just plug in everything and hope it all works. Several of our providers offer white hand on-site installation where they not only install it, but they actually teach the users how to use it properly, because we know adoption is a critical element to customer satisfaction with unified communications. And also vertical focus. Several of our providers, and you want to reach out to them, they focus in different verticals. There's some that focus in hospitality, there's some that focus in medical, there's some that focus on legal, and it's not just features necessarily, it's features and compliance issues. The way those phone calls are secured, the way those phone calls are transmitted, all have to fall within certain regulations that are really dictated by each of the different industry verticals that are out there. One of the key elements, or key tools rather, that you need to know about here at Telarus is the UCaaS matrix. You can find it online in your back office. You can find it straight online on ucaasmatrix.com. You can also find it on your Telarus app. Just click on the bottom where it says Product Matrices and click on UCaaS. You're going to find everything that you need to know there. The real key to this matrix is being able to click on one of the columns and freeze the column. And whether it's a feature, whether it's CRM integration, what have you, all of the providers that don't offer that will disappear right off of there. Just tell you a quick story. I was actually interviewed on a Gartner survey here recently, and they were asking me differences between different companies. And so what I did is I used that little feature you see on the top left where it says compare, and I clicked the two companies they're asking me about, and there it was, side by side. I could see which integrations each one of them had. I could see which ones had which features, and I can also see which platforms they're on. So that allowed me to speak intelligently to Gartner, and they really thought I was super smart, and it was really cool. But in reality, it was kind of like college. I was using my cheat sheet to see what was going on, and they thought it was terrific. And so when you talk to your customers, do your homework, use these tools, and even show your customers these tools. Say, one of the reasons why you want to work with me is because I have access to these tools. Now, am I going to print this out and give it to you, Mr. Customer? I am not. This is a tool of my trade. But you'll notice on UCaaS Matrix, both on the app as well as online, do not have the Telarus logo. You can take these customer facing. You can take your virtual engineer and actually sit down with your customers and show them, and really help you get involved on the design phase of the process. That's really critical to your success going forward, and especially in unified communications, is being part of the design process. Having these tools that you can show customers is really critical. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the UCaaS providers that we offer, but I am going to highlight a few because a few of them are really special. First, I want to talk a little bit about the phone system providers that have made the pivot to cloud. I talked a little bit before how 82 to 85% of all phone systems are still on site. Well, there are a few providers that we have, Mitel, Avaya, and Genesis, that are big premise-based hardware manufacturers, and all three have made the decision fairly recently to go all in with the cloud. What does that mean? It means they're eating their own babies. They're eating their own children. And why are they doing this? Because they know that the future, the economics of the business, the way that the different clouds communicate, and to give their customers the experience that they're demanding in the future has to happen in the cloud. And so Mitel, for example, has done a terrific job buying ShoreTel, who is well into making their pivot as well to the cloud, and even changing rules of engagement recently. Mitel has really taken the gloves off and removed all the restrictions on all their accounts. What that means is ink wins. If you encounter a Mitel on-premise customer and you sell them Mitel Cloud, you're going to get the deal. The original VAR who sold them the Mitel hardware is not going to be respected. And Mitel has been signaling, so has Avaya and Genesis. They've been signaling to their VARs, to their partners, for a long time, for several years now, that the partners need to get in the cloud. But a lot of them haven't done it. So finally, they've really locked horns and locked hands with the partner channel, with us, and really tasked us and like I said at the beginning, and are paying us very well to help them take their own customers from the premise into the cloud for their phone system. Both Mitel, Avaya, and Genesys have fantastic hosted VoIP platforms as well. All three very, very robust contact center platforms. So it's very easy to have one single provider, one single throat to choke, and have some great UCaaS and CCaaS performance. Another list of providers I want to point out are the ones that are exclusive with Telarus. These are the ones that you can't find anywhere else, the ones that we find great value in. And those two are Adtran, and many of you may be thinking, Adtran, never would have thought of them as a hosted voice provider. I could have put them on the previous slide as well, where they are making the shift from prem to cloud, where they went from producing hardware to really focusing on the cloud UCaaS experience. And then also Sharpen. Sharpen's one of our newest partners, and they're doing fantastic things in the contact center realm. In fact, we just had a very large sale by one of our top partners here in Utah on Sharpen, and that deal just closed a few weeks ago. So we've already started to see some tremendous success in these products, and we're very, very grateful for these providers for allowing us to be exclusive with them. There's one cool element that really, in my mind, also for you guys, helps separate UCaaS providers from everybody else. And then that's VX support line. You're probably thinking, what in the heck is VX support line? Well, at vxsupportline.com, there is a website. I would encourage all of you to go there, vxsupportline.com. And what that does, it enables your browser to, in essence, emulate a VoIP call. The cool thing about this platform is that to be part of the platform, we have had our providers put our beacons, put basically the device that can catch these test calls in their data centers. What that does, it enables anybody through using just a web browser to send a call through your current local area and wide area network to the actual data centers where these guys have their points of presence, and then back. Basically, it enables you to test drive the call quality before you ever put a customer on any of these products. And those providers include Momentum, Broadview, which of course is now Windstream, TPX, Birch, which of course is now Fusion, G12, Jive, 8x8, Ring Central, Vonage, New Horizons, and Telesystem. Those are the providers that have said, you know what, we want to be part of this community. We want Telarus partners to be able to test and provide a level of service that, quite frankly, the VARs used to provide on the on-prem system. So these tools are incredibly impactful when it comes to troubleshooting, when it comes to pre-network assessments. And we are very, very privileged to work with those providers and have them be part of the VX-enabled ecosystem. We also have some providers that are in the process of installing these beacons so that we can run tests, and that includes Nextiva, Genesys, Nexigi, BroadVoice, Mitel, and Net2Phone. So we look forward to having a really broad range of providers that are going to enable you to get out there and test and provide that level of support that you could even charge for. In fact, we've actually seen a trend of some of our partners who have some VAR experience, so they have some hands-on box experience, actually using these tools to enable them to bill for additional service levels with unified communications. This next slide, it kind of shows you really the whole environment. It shows you all of the contact center products that we have. It shows you all of the hosted PBX, but also there's CRM, there's WFM, workforce management. There's also performance management, PCI compliance. PCI Pal's one of the companies that we just barely added that allows people running a call center to actually take a customer's credit card information over the phone and not get arrested. It's fully PCI compliant. There's lots of add-ons, and I hope you can see that there's an ecosystem, and each one of these add-ons represents a different aspect that your customers are going to want. I don't think there's any other product that we really offer that allows so much customizability. In fact, all of these here are what we call CPaaS, or Communications Platform as a Service. TalkDesk is a great company that has really focused on building the platform, as has Vonage, RingCentral, all of these. They provide open platforms so people can go and developers can build new applications to enable their customers. Now, what am I talking about? Applications, that seems so vague. What if your customer wants a specific report? Well, using TalkDesk, for example, you can log into the portal, click on that report, look at a sample, you like it, you click a button, buy, and now all of a sudden you have that report. Because again, it's just like your phone. What's an application for your phone? Well, you go to the App Store and you click a button, and you can get Strava on your phone, which will then now measure your workouts and share your workouts with your friends. And so before you download that app, you don't have that functionality. UC and Contact Center are much the same way. These are platforms, and you can customize and you can build. And in general, as you add different functions, you increase the customer's bill. And this is another place where a lot of platforms will separate themselves from another. Some of them include specific applications for free, while other ones charge for them. If you look in GeoQuote, you will find that when you price out solutions, you will see, if you click on details, you will see exactly which integrations and which applications the customer will be billed for and which ones they will get for free on the different providers. Now, lastly, I started a little bit with the UC matrix. We also have the Contact Center matrix. Again, that's available in your back office. It's also available on your phone app. Some of the things that I think are really cool about the Contact Center matrix is the interoperability with phones or with UCaaS providers. So if you have a customer using Fuse, for example, you can go into the Contact Center matrix and say, hey, who on the Contact Center side can integrate on a SIP trunk level with Fuse? SIP integrations are huge because that means those minutes can transfer back and forth for free. You can also look and see what different WFM, workforce management platforms are available, and continue on into performance management, gamification. Make sure that the things that your customers' needs in their call center are met. Well, one of the main things that Telarus has been focused on as well through our last year of acquisition, quite frankly, is bringing in here experts and specialty groups, we call them, where we have different technical expertise. And one of the places that we really excel is in unified communications and contact center. And we have a specific person by the name of Ray Hicken, who's going to be here with us here in a second to answer some questions and answers. Ray and his team, Megan Ty, and others are here to help you through this experience. We are here to actually talk to your customers, to help assess what their situation is, to help gather information, help design solutions, and then help you with other things that are a little bit different than the rest of the Telarus supplier portfolio. Things like deal registration, where we have to go in and actually register your customers with the providers that we think are going to be the best fit, so that those deals aren't taken away from you or otherwise separated from you. Again, let me just say how excited we are for 2019 on the unified communications front. Again, there is so much here that I didn't cover. I would invite you to talk to Ray and his team. I would invite you to talk to your RVP and come up with a unified communication strategy. And again, I would recommend you go to promos.telarus.com and really get a grasp of how much money is on the table in unified communications. You can start out with just a simple question like, Mr. Customer, does your phone system and your CRM talk to each other? Because if it doesn't, we can help you with that. It can start as simple as that. Simple steps to help you get your feet wet in unified communications is really what you need. And I really hope that you learned something today. It's been my pleasure to be with you. Please join me next week as we go into part 3 of the Telarus Supplier Overview, where we talk about managed IT and cybersecurity providers, some of the newest, most hippest, most advanced products that we've ever offered here at Telarus. And again, an area where our partners are starting to see tremendous traction and growth, and where, quite frankly, customers are asking us to come in and be that trusted advisor. Now, I have to apologize. I'm actually at the airport right now, and I have to jump on an airplane. I am headed to Atlanta, where there is a whole 1 inch of snow, and just pray for me, everybody, that my plane makes it. I hope that everything's going to be okay. Again, like I mentioned, we have Ray Hicken on the phone with us today, as well as Doug Miller, who can take your questions and answer them as we need. So guys, without any further ado, thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And Ray and Doug, I'll kick it back over to you. Thanks.
Thanks, Patrick. Traveling to Atlanta with an inch of snow on the ground, that just doesn't seem right somehow. But it's going to be the IT Expo. Patrick's going to be there. Take a chance to say hello to him while he's there. Our thanks to Patrick Oborn for his presentation today. Joining us today to handle our Q&A portion of the call is Ray Hicken. He is Telarus VP of Operations for Contact Center and Unified Communications. I dare say no one knows the UC and CC spaces like Ray and his team. They know the market, the pricing, the distribution, the strategy, the compensation. Ray, it's great to have you here. Welcome back to our Telarus Tuesday call. What did you think of Patrick's presentation today?
I thought it was great. Thank you. I appreciate the introduction, Doug. And I think that Patrick hit on some really important key things marketplace. And hopefully you're seeing that yourselves. I would point out maybe one example as we wait for questions come in that I think is relevant to what we're trying to do to help you succeed in this space. Yesterday, I had a call with a new partner to us with one of our partner support managers. And what happened as a result of that call was they said, you know, we don't get this kind of help from other masters or other people. You guys are doing some amazing things. The resources you have, the portfolio you have is richer and deeper than any I've seen. And then some of the tools we have to help them and our resources about just using us to help them get started. They got really excited about it. So I guess saying is hop in and get involved in the space. It's a tremendous growth space right now. We think that the cloud contact center growth will be from premise to cloud from about a 15 to 18% penetration right now to 50% penetration in the next 6 years. And so you see there's a dramatic shift happening. And that's been made pretty apparent by what's happening in the market space. Companies like Vonage, who purchased New Voice Media, which is a contact center provider specifically to get themselves better positioned in the space. Recently, RingCentral just bought a company called Connect, and they're a contact center provider. And so you can see the market shifting. There's an effort by the UCaaS market to get more into the contact center. Of course, these cloud providers are growing dramatically, as well as the prem providers, as Patrick already mentioned, really shifting their focus and trying to find the platform either by development or by acquisition to get them into the space to be successful. So I guess my long introduction to this is there's tremendous opportunity, and we would invite you to myself and to our team to use us and take advantage of the resources we have to help get started in this space, or to be a resource just to help you on a call with a customer and you're not sure what direction you need to go. We can be on that call with you to help you source that information to be able to be a resource to people.
Ray, Patrick wasn't kidding when he started out by saying that UC simply pays more. There is a tremendous push on in the industry to migrate customers away from premise-based technologies to the cloud and to adopt the new UC and CC technologies. The commissions are outstanding, and the help that is provided is second to none. It seems to me that the biggest problem that agents face on the front end is simply being able to start that conversation and then determine which of all of the available solutions is the right one for their customer. From that point on, it's easy with all of the help that's available, correct?
That's correct, Doug. I think, one, the tools that we have for you to position are really tremendous. I mean, you just saw the matrix. It's been thought out, and we've addressed every possible angle on not only UC, but on contact center. And if you use the tools that we have and reach out to us, because we have much more you can use, you can really get a good start there. Because to your point, I can't think of an opportunity right now and a market where the UC space is, where there's more percentage pass through to you at a high level. And then you take and you add on top of that the contacts, where I think the price per seat just makes it a huge revenue play for you. So the combination of those two together, I just don't think you can lose by getting yourself invested in that and getting started.
Well, and don't forget about the spiffs that are available as well. In addition to the higher overall compensation, many of the spiffs that we feature here on the Tuesday call and that are available for viewing at promos.telarus.com, as Patrick mentioned, they are phenomenal in terms of these types of sales. I've seen 3X, 4X, 5X, 6X MRC spiffs coming up on our call for sales of these products. It really is something that our suppliers are pushing hard.
It really is, and to me, it's just mind-boggling that they're able to pay out these kinds of spiffs, but they are, and I've asked them specifically about this, and they said they will continue to do it because this is a tremendous growth market right now, and they're wanting to take advantage of that. I mean, I just heard of a situation where a provider, RingCentral, has a spiff where you get 3 times MRC on both the contact center and on the UC, and we were able to pay out a partner, I think it was $90,000 on a spiff. So it's just incredible upfront money, and I just think you're missing opportunity if you don't go after this.
And as Patrick mentioned in his presentation, this is not a shrinking market or one that is small, that's very niche, and you have to try to do something special to take advantage of it. This is an enormous marketplace. If partners will just familiarize themselves with the need in the marketplace and what the available solutions are, each one of these suppliers that I'm aware of is very, very willing to sit down and help educate them and their clients on their available solutions. Once you identify the prospect, seems to be pretty easy from there.
Yeah, I think that's one of the other things that I think is exciting about this for you is that in this space, these companies are really well versed in their product, and they're very anxious to step in and help you. They'll really carry the load. You be the quarterback on the opportunity, but they'll do the heavy lifting. They know it, and they understand how to work with you, and they understand how to sell it effectively. So you don't have to do as much heavy lifting. They'll do it. All I need you to be is guide them into the opportunity and be the one who the key players are within that company.
It's an astounding statistic that 85% of all phone systems are still on site, as Patrick mentioned. Now, I am one of those folks that still has a phone on my desk. There's a feeling of peace and safety that it gives to me. I don't know, but I am literally razzed by the other members on my team who all use virtual phones for doing their work. And there is a real shift to this in the marketplace. This is what the providers want. This is what most businesses want and need as well. Talk about some of the factors that are influencing that shift.
Well, I think there are a lot of things that are causing that. I think we have a marketplace that's very concerned about cost of ownership and the cost of doing business. And so these cloud opportunities really changes from a CapEx to an OpEx opportunity. So, and it makes it plausible for these smaller companies to be really agile and be able to stay within their budgets and grow their business. So I think that's shifting it as a big part of that shift. But the other shifts are things like omni-channel and the way that people are communicating today. It's very clear that we have a shifting marketplace where people are taking care of business and servicing their business through voice, through chat, through email, through video, through texting, and there is just a dramatic shift in the way people make decisions. On top, I think there's a dramatic shift also to incorporate new technology like artificial intelligence to really understand a customer's need and be able to service that need by understanding how to communicate with that customer without maybe even having to talk to somebody on the other end until that becomes necessary to talk to somebody live. And it gives them ability to help their customers in really critical, quick, easy to solve their problems. And most people are actually willing to pay more for a better experience. I've read the research. They're willing to pay more to have a better experience. So companies are investing more to have that, what they call the customer experience, be more relevant. And then companies, just communicate more effectively. We are in a world today where not everybody's sitting in the same office. And people need to be able to communicate. And all these UC providers have these tools to do teamwork and to be in rooms and to be able to communicate from wherever they're at, from wherever they may be in their life, They can be able to communicate on a project together, be in groups, talk about things, have everybody else involved unless they need to be involved. And so you can get in and out of these groups, and we do that here at Telarus. We use tools to be able to communicate back and forth in different groups on different projects. Just like this call today, there's a group, and we were chatting back and forth as this and ready for it, and it just makes it more plausible for companies to be like they're all in the same working together, and yet we're all over the globe. And I think that kind of flexibility and that kind of a market change has forced us to be able to create platforms that help companies be more effective in that way.
And the quality of the service has increased so much over the last few years. I lied just a little bit. I do have the physical phone on my desk, but for most of my work, and I do mostly project management for Telarus, I'm on calls all day with large groups of people. We're doing conference calls like this, and seriously, with the technology that's available now for the conferencing and everything over the cloud platforms, it sounds as though we are all in that room together. The quality of those calls are amazing. We have all of the video, the audio, the other tools that we use online. This is where business is going, and businesses profit immensely by being able, as you say, to shift those expenses from CapEx to OpEx and take advantage of these tools and resources. It's just phenomenal. Telarus makes it awfully easy, of course. Partners can start by talking to their own partner support managers. They, of course, talk with you and your team regularly. I see the chats going on all day long about here's a unique situation. How can we best solve this one? And then, of course, with the matrices and the other tools that we've made available, there are an incredible amount of resources for partners, no matter where they are, whether it's on the road, in their office, or wherever, to look up this information and present it to their customers. And as Patrick mentioned, it doesn't even have the Telarus logo on it. So it enhances their ability to be the customer's trusted advisor.
Absolutely. And I think some of the tools that we've created with our marketing team to be customer facing or just partner facing to be successful are just incredible. Our battle card for contact center is really packed with a lot of information, questions, and key things that you should be aware of and things that you should look for. And it helps look for the different types of titles and positions within a company you're looking for that would make these kinds of decisions and why you want to be in this space. It's just the tools we have, the resources we have available to you, and we continue to build and add to them are just wonderful. You shouldn't feel like you have to go into these situations empty-handed. You can really access our team and our resources, and that's reaching out to your PSM or your field RVP or SPDM, whoever it may be. They'll get you in touch with the right people, and we'll help you be able to service your opportunities.
Now, in addition to the matrices that we've talked about, the promos that are available, and the other resources on our website, one of the, I think, often overlooked tools and resources that we have here at Telarus are the marketing toolkits that have been made available. When partners log into their back office, right there on the front page, down in the lower area, there is a link for the marketing toolkits, and there you will find videos, emails, battle cards that you'd mentioned, marketing flyers, a tremendous amount of contact that focuses either on specific industries or specific suppliers, and included with that, contact center and UCaaS, exactly what we're talking about today. It's a tremendous set of resources for partners who are either preparing presentations for their clients or who just need to get better educated on these markets, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the combination of those tools and understanding the marketplace like we do, it just is a tremendous asset to our partners.
Telarus back office is just filled with amazing resources. We've talked a little bit about UCaaS. Let's talk about the contact center space for just a minute. This, of course, is also an extremely lucrative area where some of the biggest sales I'm seeing on our Tuesday calls and in other places are happening. Talk just a little bit, if you would, about the market for contact center right now and how that is continuing to grow.
Well, I think, like I previously stated, I think there is just a tremendous shift from cloud. But on top of that, we're seeing some some dramatic shifts within these companies or providers in this space to be able to really address what we call the customer experience. And CX, or you may call it really a call center anymore, it's a contact center. Really, some of the terms they're using now is an engagement center. We're trying to address in the marketplace this demand for companies to be able to service their customers in a really quick online fashion that gives them experience it's really positive and enjoyable. And that's what they're focused on right now. And so what we're seeing happening in the marketplace is that companies are shifting from the prem solution, which is very expensive, to a more mobile and also more agile product solution. And it gives them, these companies, some visibility into their contact center that they've never had before. And I think there's a misnomer sometimes when we talk about a contact center. We think of, 300 or 400 agents in a dark room taking a phone call on the widget late at night. It's much more than that. If you go in and ask a company if they have a contact center, they may say they don't have one because they don't realize that group service or inbound, outbound sales or tech support are all people that work in a contact center. And as you companies and as you look for opportunities, you just go to a website, and if you see a link there that says you want to chat or an email or an 800 number, there is a strong likelihood there's a contact center. And so the key is being able to your customer base and just cover the opportunity that's there by just looking for certain key things that are trigger points for you to say there's an opportunity here. And the revenue shift is dramatic. I mean, the marketplace right now in just the US alone for contact center is about $6.2 billion a year. And there is a belief that that's going to grow to about $23 billion a year in the next 6 years. So it's a rapid upscale growth right now. So I just think sometimes don't realize that some of this stuff is right under their nose. It's right in their own existing account base. They just got to go ask a few. And again, the tools and resources we have to help you, especially those few questions to get started. If you get those answers to those questions from the customer, then you probably have an opportunity. And that's when you reach out to our team and we'll help guide you through that process.
For those that may not be that terribly familiar with contact center, that provider matrix that Telarus has provided is a great tool to be able to start and continue a discussion. In the discussions that I've had with some of our partners or even just people in the industry, and we talk about contact center, I'll pull out that matrix and take a look not only at the suppliers that we offer, but across the top of that matrix, there are talking points, essentially, things to ask about. What are the pricing parameters that we're looking at for different types of seats or different types of environments? What does the infrastructure look like? What does the customer's workforce management look like? What sort of CRM integrations are required? All of that is listed right across the top of the matrix, and then you've got a very easy to read, easy to discussion of each of the categories under that. This is a great tool to show, not necessarily give to, but to show to your clients and let the discussion progress from there. Once you've narrowed it down a little bit, it's very easy to get either the Telarus team or the provider themselves on the phone, on a call, and begin talking about the specific opportunity. And again, the compensation on this, so high. This is really where providers should be spending a lot of time.
Totally agree with that. And I think, people think of this space as a more complex sell. Yeah, it is. It's more of a solution sell. It's not just dropping down circuits in an office. I'm not trying to minimize that, but all of you that are on the phone, that it's a race to zero with telecom right now, and being able to differentiate yourself is really hard. In the contact center space, it is a solution sell. There are a lot of moving parts on the contact center. But again, those tools we have, that matrix, you can really come across as you really know what you're talking about by just going through and clicking on the matrix with your customer and saying, well, what is important to you? Is WFM important to you? Are you looking for outbound dialers, a predictive dialer? And you just ask those questions and you start getting to a point where you're narrowing it down to the key players that you can bring in. And this makes you look like you're really smarter than probably you think you are. And then adding the resources we have within Telarus to help you, just come in and close the door on those opportunities. So I think, yeah, this is a tremendous opportunity right now, and the resources we have to help you are there to help you win. That's what we all care about, is helping you win.
I want to acknowledge the questions and comments that we've had come in on the chat window during the call today. Many of the chat questions are sort of vendor specific, and I think we'll take those after the fact and send out some responses on those. We don't necessarily want to feature one over the other on this particular call, but I did want to note a couple of the comments on the Q&A section as well. Allied 12 said what would really be cool is a platform to see 15 minutes of a UCaaS provider demonstrating what it looks like day to day using their product. And we mentioned during the call that if folks go to our website and type in, let's see, I got to go back to that one here in my notes. I lost it. Where they can actually try out a potential supplier with the customer's own system, try test calls and so forth before recommending the product itself. It was vxsupportline.com/enter the vendor's name, and you can there try out the service and see what that's going to look like, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, he got it. He put it in the notes there. He gave us the link to that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, vxsupportline.com/enter the vendor's name, whether it's Vonage or whoever it may be. Thanks to Garrett for putting that on the line. So yeah, great comments. We appreciate all of those today. Ray, we're going to have to bring it in here at the end, but we'll give you the last word. What would be next steps for our partners, and what should they be doing this week to better enter into these markets?
I would just invite you to look at the tools we have. For one, I would invite you to reach out to your partner support manager. I would invite you to reach out to myself or Megan, and just let's have that. And I think the most important thing is that you just start the conversation with your customer, and don't be afraid of it. We will really walk you through the experience, so you don't feel like you have to carry this by yourself. And again, I've been on several calls with several partners with their customer, helping them decide how to solve their problem and what solution we should bring in. So I would just invite you to we have, they're out there for you, and then to reach out to us. And don't be afraid to try. Sometimes we're too afraid to apply for something because it's foreign to us. And I just ask you to just try and lean on us. Let us be a crutch. Most experience that to be really positive. And once you go through the sales process just once, you're going to find that it's you learn a lot, and then you know what to look for the next time around. So that's what I invite you to do. Don't be afraid to ask. Let's get the conversation started.
Thanks, Ray. Terrific advice. That's Ray Hicken. He's our VP of Operations here at Telarus for UC and CC. He and his team are a tremendous resource for all of us here at Telarus and for all of our partners as we look at those markets and attempt to get farther involved with those. Can't recommend it to you enough. Thanks, Ray, for being here, handling our Q&A session today, and our thanks to Patrick Oborn as well, on his way to the IT Expo down in down in Fort Lauderdale, and we hope to see everybody there this week. Also, don't forget to join the Ruby Receptionists launch and training call. It happens Thursday, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Our newest Telarus supplier. You'll want to take advantage of that and see what that new partnership has to offer for you. Our thanks to each of you for your attendance and participation. If you have suggestions, send them to marketing@telarus.com. We will be back next Tuesday with part 3 of Patrick Oborn's series. We'll be focusing on managed IT providers and security providers. Do not miss that call. Until then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Thanks so much for your attendance. Have a great selling week, everyone.